I've been good. I've been good.
Good.
Haven't played a ton of Overwatch the past couple days, so
Yeah.
I had to go back a couple days to get a replay. I think
right.
I did good in it.
Surely.
I'm not for sure. I mean,
okay.
you're gonna tell me how ass I'm doing and how to get better. So
okay. Yeah.
It'll
either
buff.
way.
It'll buff.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. So what I'll do is I'll have this recorded and sent to you, and then you will also have any questions that come up. You can just message me anytime. So okay. Well, what got you interested in coaching?
I feel like because I've never been coached before in Overwatch, and I feel like I'm fairly decent. Like I think my aim's pretty good, but I think I'm just being held back by positioning and stuff because I don't understand the game. You know?
Sure.
Like I'm just kind of out aiming people right now. I'm not actually smart, and I wanted to get more smarter.
Sure, that's brilliant. Could not put it better myself. Now, I assume that you said you've never been coached before in Overwatch, and you're talking about your mechanics, some sniffing first-person shooter experience. Am I correct?
A little bit. I've played a bunch of Call of Duty in the past, and then I've played Valorant a lot as well.
Sure. Okay, makes sense. So, what got you into Overwatch in the first place?
I played like one season of the first one, and it was kind of fun. But then the second one came out, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's not a shooting shield simulator." So
okay,
I was like, "This is like way funner to play DPS," and so I started playing it.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
And then I looked up because I've never been coached, I looked up tips on YouTube, and you're one of the first ones that popped up, and it was like an Ashe gameplay, and I'm like, this is perfect.
perfect. And why Ashe particularly? Is it just a little bit of first-person shooter experience? She's also clicky hero, so it made sense, or is it deeper than that?
I think just kind of simple. It just made sense. I think she takes a lot more skill to play than a bunch of the other heroes. Like a bunch of the heroes are super easy. Hanzo, dead brain character, hate that guy. Soldier's pretty fun, but he's like pretty easy, straightforward. I like it being a little bit more technical, like harder to play.
Makes sense. Okay, well let's take a look here. So Ashe, you're diamond. What do you hope to get out of the session? Learn how to position and play better Ashe overall. It's definitely positioning was something that you were kind of unsure on. Now, what about, obviously you're self-aware, at least in theory, that positioning is a problem with you. How do you know that?
So when I play with my friends, sometimes they're like, okay, especially you're overheating. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I'm like 1v4ing them. And I'm like, wait, why am I here?
Right.
So I think I overheat a lot. And then I think I just die a bit too much,
Okay.
I think you want to play your life more than I do. I kind of just dive.
Sure. Makes sense. 2 to 3 hours of play per day. Is that all ranked?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And do you take breaks / do you warm up?
I do warm up. I don't know about really taking breaks. I go to the restroom.
Okay, sure. What do you do for warm up? We'll start with that.
So there's this like aim trainer in the game that I saw on a YouTube video from a guy like a bajillion years ago. I don't even know who it was anymore.
Send it to me.
But
if you haven't.
Okay, I can send you the code to it.
That would be great. Okay. Let's go ahead and start this then while we're waiting. I will give it my quick check to see if I approve.
Okay. I did this for like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm the best Ashe in the game. And then I get play.
Yeah.
Not good.
I mean, I think it's all right. The movement's pretty unpredictable.
Mm. That's what I liked about it. Wherever you aim, they go the opposite way, so it makes it.
I mean, it's a lot less. Have you heard of Vaxta code? This is another one that you might want to consider as well, where there's a little bit more manual control over the movement. It's similar. Okay. It's a little harsher visually, but you might want to consider this one too, just to give it a shot. No pun intended.
Okay. Good pun.
Thank you. But you can go up to here, where we at, and you can adjust the bot movement. Press your interact key, and everything moves a lot more unpredictably. There's also a lot there's more targets that move around as well. So watch me sleep, funny Astro. Oh, crap. I got surely this time. All right, this is it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying, though, right? So this is another one to consider as well. And I know you said mechanics aren't really a problem, but like long term, what you could do as well, if you really want to improve your mechanics, is for your warm up for 5 to 10 minutes, jump into this mode as well. It's on EU ping often. But this is you're gonna be cooking in here because you're gonna be playing versus Grandmaster players, and because it's deathmatch, it's not just raw aim. It's also hitting your dynamites under pressure. It's knowing how do you use your coach gun versus a Genji, right? How do you position? How are you good at your unscoped into scope shots and using your combos as Ashe, right? It's stuff like this that's going to be practicing that kind of stuff. Like, for example, should I nade this? I don't actually know if I should because I haven't taken any damage yet, right? And so when I get in game, I actually practice that kind of mechanical practice, like being able to 1v1 people. And I think with Ashe, like a lot of your character is just pointing, scoping, and shooting optimally, but not always. Like if you're getting dove, how do you win a 1v1 versus a Tracer? How do you win a 1v1 versus Genji or Sombra or Lucy or whatever? And I think that like this is going to get practice at doing that. And I would recommend this. Now, the only thing you're going to have to deal with is the latency. But I wouldn't let it bother me.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. And worst case scenario, you can also do this as well. It's the same thing. 8 players instead. The matchmaking might be kind of messy, but yeah. So I would say try all of the options I gave you and see how you feel. If I really like deathmatch, some people don't like deathmatch. I think the code that you sent to me is fine. It'll do the job. It's not, especially if you're only doing it for like 5 minutes for a warm. I think it's okay. Okay, and then in terms of the bricks, let me give you my spiel on bricks, all right?
Okay.
The idea is just not so much that it's like some emotional release that I have to get up and punch a punching bag because I'm so tilted and angry. I take a break in every queue. I take 30 seconds to a minute or two every single queue, no matter how tilted I am, whether I'm feeling fine, it's my first game, doesn't matter. Because the physical activity of walking around and just turning my brain off for a minute means that when I turn my brain back on, I have a little bit more energy, a little bit more focus, a little bit more gas in the tank. It helps with tilt, for sure. But that's not even the main reason why I do it. The main reason I do it is just so that I have, because the way that you improve is you go into competitive and you full focus, full energy, full intensity. And the more that you queue and you queue and you queue and you stay at your computer and you check your Twitter and then you check YouTube and then you warm up a deathmatch and then you're not like, let me give you a good analogy here. This is what you're doing psychologically. You ready for this one? Look at Far Fuel. And then you're gonna run out, right? What breaks does is this. It doesn't necessarily regenerate your fuel, but it allows you to do this. Oh, use my fuel, use my fuel, use my fuel, use my fuel, game's over. Recharge a little bit. Use my fuel, use my fuel, use my fuel, use my fuel. Recharge a little bit. Use my fuel, now eventually I am gonna run out here, right? Because I'm not fully recharging, but I'm allowing myself to go so much further and also making sure that I don't have any games with this much fuel.
Right.
Because those are the wastes of times. So especially if you're only playing for 2 to 3 hours, taking those 1 to 2 minute breaks is gonna be so important to make sure every single one of those games is full intensity, as close to full intensity as you possibly can. And the key thing is to get up from your computer. Do not look at a screen. Get up. Check your mail. Do some chores. Do 700 push-ups. Just normal human things. Anything that you'd like to do. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to bully you on is the 6 hours of sleep. Tough. Could be a lot better. Could be a lot better. Not just for your mechanical stuff, like your reaction speed, but also for like learning new things. Like I'm going to teach you some things tonight, and then your brain's going to think on these things, and then you're going to go to sleep. If you get a decent amount of sleep tonight, you will remember and execute those things better tomorrow than if you didn't get as much sleep. And so the problem with that is that every single day that you learn anything, you are going to quote unquote install that software a lot slower and less efficiently when you don't get as much sleep. Highly recommend improving your sleep. I don't think 8 hours is a hill to die on, but I do think 6.5 hours would be a hill to die on for right now. See how that goes. If that's something that's easy for you to stick with, then we can prove that to 7 and so on. But small improvements is really important. Make sense?
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? Understanding, aim is fine, positioning, and so on. Goals, GM top 500. Long term, regarded as the best Ashe player to ever live, maybe even go pro. Good luck. Let's see how it goes. Got your code. And let's get this pulled up. Any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Let's roll. Now, is there anything recently with Ashe that you've been working on or that you have been worked on in the past or that you feel like you're good at or you feel like you're bad at? You talk about positioning being a weakness, aim being a strength. Anything recently you've been trying to improve? Maybe besides like trying to find your keyboard so that you can move out of spawn.
Right. I can't remember. I think I started stream here and then it was all crashing. And then I was like, okay, I'll fix it later.
Okay.
It'll buff.
Yeah. So I guess going back to the original question here before I distracted you.
I don't think I'm working on anything recently because I feel like I don't have enough understanding about the game to pick out what I need to work on, you know?
Sure.
So that's kind of
makes sense.
That's why I'm gonna ask you.
That makes sense. How are you going to get understanding of the game though? Was it just shelling out money for coaching sessions? Was that the plan?
I watched like 2 of your Ashe coaching guides.
That's good. What did you pick up from those guides?
I picked up that my positioning is so garbage.
What about your positioning?
I feel like I'm not taking the high ground and the off angles in the fights as much as I could. Like, I think I've improved a lot because I watched these videos a couple weeks back. Like, I was kind of sitting closer to the tank instead of going like top left or top right, getting a second angle and an off angle. Right. I was sitting behind tank a lot, and I think that was cutting down on my impact a lot. So I think I've improved on that. But other than that, I was like, bro, where's the link to coaching?
Okay. So you have improved or worked at something in regards to taking slightly more offense. Yeah. Okay. I encourage you to be. The goal is to be self-sufficient. The goal is to be self-sufficient, not just because I don't want to steal your money 24/7, but to be frank with you, people that succeed are people that are inspired from coaching and motivated through coaching and learn through coaching, but that don't require a coach to hold their hand every step of the way. If you want to succeed, you can't rely off of me. You need to utilize the session to get some ideas, but then when you're like, oh, I don't know what to work on next, like you need to answer that question yourself. And the funny thing is you don't even necessarily need to know exactly for sure if what you're trying to practice is even good. Like, for example, how do you use your dynamite?
I'm trying to nade basically everybody except tank unless he's really low.
Sure. So, like, for example, right now, is this a good angle for you?
No.
Or would you?
I don't think so, but Reinhardt's on the right side, so I'm not for sure. Maybe low left here.
So this is what you need to practice, right?
Right.
Because you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to be snide here. I'm not going to tell you the answer. Okay. At least for this one, because I want this one to sit and stew, and I want this to be motivation for you. Like whenever this happens in game, to try to figure it out in real time, and then importantly to go back, look at the replay code. Don't have to look at the whole replay code, right? Nobody's got time for that. But look at like one fight. Be like, I didn't know where to position here. Let me see if I can think of an idea. I wasn't sure if I bobbed correctly or if I dynamite correctly. Well, think of an idea. Is this good or is this bad? Will this take too long? How could you get here faster? Is it worth it? Is there a situation in which it's okay to walk in a tank? What about right? Is this good? Is this an actual troll? Is this position actually just fine? I don't know. Because if you want to be good, you got to be able to not only make these calls in real time, but then also be able to analyze it afterwards and come up with new things to work on next time.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I love how I said.
Knowing and doing, it's two different things, right?
Yeah,
so you might
yeah,
know
yeah.
this. You might know this, but at the very least, there's at least one dynamite that you need to keep. You need to keep working on that habit.
They just don't stay down.
All right.
Bad rain, bad rain.
Yeah. What do you think of this fight? You're coaching yourself.
I think I need to hit more shots. Also, I sat back for a long time there. I was missing out on like a lot of damage.
Okay. Was there anything like fundamentally wrong with the way that you're approaching aiming, or is it just like, I just wasn't awake and I just wouldn't hit my shots?
I don't know if there's really fundamentally wrong. Maybe I was flaking a little too much. I need to make it a little smoother.
Okay. And so then you're sitting back a little bit too. What else? What about that? Like, what needs to be improved?
I need to be positioning a little bit more actively to where I can do more damage without getting dove and deaded.
Actively in what regard? What does active mean?
Actively means where I'm able to see people and shoot people more. Because I was sitting behind, I could see their toes sometimes.
Sure.
What does that do?
Proactive, a little bit more creative. I think that makes sense. What about your dynamites?
Other than the first dynamite on the tank, I thought they were okay.
I agree.
Thank you. I get the idea.
You notice that this has not been like super complicated either.
Handle the heat.
Heck, you've been able to coach yourself, and if a jackass like you can coach yourself, then maybe anybody can do it, right?
Yeah, you're not lying.
What
is this?
Or maybe you're smarter than you think. I say that as soon as this happens. Maybe this is bad timing.
Yeah, I think that was awful timing.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Spatial move, dude. I'm pretty sure my stream was crashing.
Sure, surely. I don't know. This looks pretty crispy to me. I don't know. This looks pretty crispy to me. What do you think so far?
I think the last minute's been pretty good.
I think so too. Lots of creative angles, good timing, good use of cover. The dynamites have been nice. The bob was nice as well. Put it on an off angle, right? Nice. Even taking aggressive off angles. Well, yes, but you had your coach gun, right? So any aggressive angle you could take, you can always just get out. No bueno, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one we'll point out. Why was this dynamite poor?
I was just kind of guessing they were back there, but I had actually no clue where they were really.
Right. And it's especially offensive because of what's on your screen right now.
A May.
And there's a Cassidy below you too. And
Oh yeah. I literally put
you have guaranteed squishies right here, and instead you're rolling the dice and something across the map. So yeah, it's silly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Why am I swinging that?
Yeah. Cover usage and HP, right? Simple stuff. But you know what? We've seen flashes of brilliance, right? Like you said, there was a long stretch of time where I think you played really, really well. Nice shot. Hey, you die here. It's okay.
Oh, I remember this. This is so dumb. I literally gave him the mega.
Okay, that's okay. There! Get out of spawn! Holy smokes! Holy crap!
That stops after this game.
You could also you should also be coach gunning out of spawn. You'll have it back by the time
Right.
you get here, saving an extra 2 or 3 seconds. Nice.
Oh, very stupid. I don't want to talk about it.
Ah.
Oh my god!
Stay out of my way.
So let's talk about this. What's the problem here? Coach yourself.
Well, I threw dynamite into nothing.
Well, let's actually go back even a little bit here. What should you do right now?
Dynamite. Free
Dynamite
damage, right?
immediately.
Yeah.
Right, immediately. Free damage, guaranteed. Force the cooldown. Yeah. Ignoring that. Okay.
Stay out of my
What about now? What's the problem now?
I am out in the open against the best DPS tank support in the game.
You're out in the open, and you could have ended the sentence right there. There's no. I don't care if it's a Moira. You don't need to be here, right?
Right.
Right? You don't need to be here. Check it.
Oh,
out of my way.
Check it. All right, here we go. This is what we want right here. See it?
mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Just literally sitting in the open.
Well, not only that,
Also jumping.
you're pogo sticking.
Yeah. I'm making it literally the easiest possible.
Well,
way
not
to
only
shoot
that,
me.
but look at when you shoot. Shoot, jump, and then as you're falling, shoot. But you're also throwing off your aim and making it in some ways even easier for him to hit his shots.
I'm literally doing the exact opposite of what I want to do.
Right. So we'll keep an eye on that. This is why I asked, mechanical habits. Like,
Christ.
if you just miss the shots, okay. But if you're making the shots harder than they need to be, then you need to fix that habit. It's a life hack to better mechanics. Make your shots easier to hit forehead, right? Okay. So, coach.
Would you say you almost never want to be really jumping in fights?
There are certain circumstances, very niche, when jumping is okay. One is when you're like jump peeking a corner to where the crosshair's aimed here and you jump, and on the arc of your jump, the crosshair has to flick up to hit you, right? Like a Widow duel or something like that. Because they're aiming at head height. The other situation would be like, let's say a Widow is shooting at you. In theory, if you could time the jump right when she shoots, you could throw off her crosshair placement because, again, crosshair placement. But the problem is that it puts you in a predictable fall. So if you guess the timing wrong, then you are going to be in a predictable arc falling, and yes, you're dead. So very, very niche circumstances when jumping is okay. Coach, what do you need to be practicing? What are we seeing from at least the first round? We've got a lot more to go, but what are some points of interest, at least so far?
Don't sit and spawn.
Obvious. Besides the obvious stuff.
Also, I need to be coaching back to the fight because the cooldown will be reset by the time I get there.
Okay.
What else about the coach gun?
Coach gun, back to the fight. Faster
Coach gun
rollouts.
back to the fight. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
What else about the coach gun?
If you haven't to think that hard, it's time to move on.
Okay, perfect.
What else? Non-coach gun related.
Non-coach gun related. Take the free damage from dynamite. Don't try and big brain it.
Right. On Squishies, ASAP.
Yes, that one.
4 duels. What else?
Also, don't pogo stick in fights.
Also,
don't sit out in the open.
Have it. Keep an eye on cover usage. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was about it.
Okay. Let's keep
I
going.
think that last one's like really big. Not the pogo thing, but just sitting out in the open. Like I just have like an ego and I'm like, I'm so much better than these people. Let me take this aim duel. And then all of a sudden like 3 people swing me and I'm like, oh, there's no cover.
Well, the problem with lack of cover usage is it's a disadvantage for you. Let me give you a good example. If they get lucky and hit one shot, you don't have the opportunity to disengage. Whereas if you're just the greatest mechanical player in the history of Diamond and you hit the one shot, but they're using cover, what can they do?
Wait, say what you said again?
If you're hitting the shot, but they're using cover. You hit one shot, they move behind cover, and now what can you do?
If I have dynamite, but that's it.
Right? You're dynamite, and that's it. So basically, the idea is that cover is what allows you to disengage any fight that you're losing. You're telling me that, I never, now obviously this is not what you're saying, but basically your body language says, I never lose duels, but you're a fat liar. You're totally wrong. You absolutely lose duels. And it's not even fair, right? You're fighting at a disadvantage. If they make a crazy lucky play, you don't get the opportunity to be like, haha, you got lucky, but I just walk away.
True.
That's what cover provides you to do.
I just need to start playing cover so I can be like, y'all are literally so much worse than me. Y'all are just lucky.
Exactly. If they get lucky, they still can't kill you.
Put me in top 500. I'm literally diffing everybody.
There you go. That's it. I appreciate the thought of you rotating to the soft angle. You can see getting jammed up in here feels terrible. This might be something where you would consider an angle like this and staying here for a little bit longer. I know why you rotated, but this might be something that you reevaluate. You are going to have to learn that your number one job when it comes to positioning is having a general idea of what you're looking for, which is what? What are you looking for with Ashe positioning most of the time?
An off angle to get damage.
Okay, what else? Because you know what? This is an off angle, right? So why aren't you here?
Okay, an off angle to get damage and also not die.
Okay.
Immediately.
But what kind of off angle then? Why is this off angle bad, but why is this off angle good? What's the difference between the two? What are you looking for? Cover. Great. Cover. Off angle. What?
Genius.
You're a genius, but you're still missing one. You're still missing one more. One more. What type of off angle? Is this off angle?
No.
An
off angle to see squishies and supports.
How close are you when you're on this off angle here? Because this has cover, right?
Distance. Okay.
Distance. Right. You need to think about what character you're playing. All right. If I'm playing Reaper, this is my off angle.
I'm overthinking.
You're overthinking. That's okay. That's okay though, because arriving at the answers right now. Look at your position here. Do you have range? Yes. Do you have cover? Kind of. Not really.
Barely.
Right. Are you at your appropriate range? Yeah, kind of. I think the big thing here is that it's kind of hard to see. So watch this. Ready? A little better, right?
A little better, yeah.
A little better. A little bit more vision, a little bit better cover, immediately better. What about this? Does this provide a different sight line? Yeah, a little bit better. A little bit more cover, still within my range. Perfect.
Okay.
So when you're playing Ashe, these are the type of positions that you're looking for. And oftentimes, it will not just be one choice. There'll be a couple of different choices, and you'll have to test and experiment which one is good. Now, I want to give you one more disclaimer. Sometimes some positions will feel bad, and sometimes some positions will feel good. If I'm playing up here, and my team, let's say they're running a Widowmaker, and she's got a sight line, a bead on me right here. That angle might not feel so good anymore, because she's going to one-shot me. Right? Or a Hanzo. So I might change the rules. I might off angle here instead to avoid her sightline. Sometimes, let's say, what if the enemy team does something crazy and they all rotate this way and you're standing here and you're like, what the frick, man? I'm going to die instantly, right? You got to rotate your angle again. So what I want you to do is off angle with cover and a little bit of range. When and where does it make sense?
Okay. Simple.
That's it.
Easy.
Very simple. Yep. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, this is not great, but this is fine. Good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough. And this poor Winston, look what he had to do to try and get you. He had to go all the way in, and now he's dead. Oh, that dynamite is juicy. Good.
The reload, tragic.
That's okay. Nice. You're carrying this fight because positioning has been really, really good. That dynamite's a little bit unfortunate, but that's all right. Then should die. And then Farah. You die.
Oh, I don't like this. Yeah.
This is just you should have gone to the mini health pack, to be honest with you. You still might be okay though. This poor guy. Bro, that guy is not a. That cannot tell me that's a real player. Use your bob. Use your bob. Just to make sure. Use it. Use it.
Oh, I didn't use that.
Yeah, and see what ends up happening. Well, what ends up happening is, when there's that uncertainty, you wait until it's either too late, either it's already won or it's already lost. Just use it. It's all right. Just to guarantee the fight. That being said, the placement of the bob was fine. Nice little.
So do you think using a bob to get like 1 or 2 cleanup kills is just as good as the full team fight?
Yeah, if the fight is not won, use the bob. The fight was not won. There were still 3 members of the enemy team alive. You had a couple of people in spawn. I think you guys had a 1-man advantage, but a 1-man advantage is not necessarily a 1 fight. Use the bob. It's fine.
Just simple thinking.
That's it.
It's easy.
That's it. Do you notice that your off angle there, even though it was not perfect, is why you guys win this fight?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just popped off, right? You didn't even hit any crazy headshots. You just body shot. Everyone was hiding. Everyone felt miserable. It's great. Now, does this positioning check the 3 boxes? Off angle, cover, range.
I think so. I got a pretty good range. It's an off angle from the team, and then I got cover.
Yeah,
I think
looks good to me. Looks good to me. The only thing I would say is maybe it's a tiny bit close. But it's not the end of the world, because you can coach gun back away to your supports. I think it's fun. Good stuff. All right.
Okay. I
definitely think we need to keep an eye on the guessing with your dynamite habit.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's such a long cooldown. You will find if you don't see an immediate value from it, wait, you'll see one. It will provide. Nice. Be careful. All right, let's go back to your team. Find that off angle with range and cover. What's the problem with this position? At least now.
The distance.
The distance,
really
exactly.
Yeah.
The distance and also the wide swing. You see it?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but this means that if she hits 1 headshot, you will not be able to get back to cover in time before she has a chance to hit a second. Let's actually watch. Let's see how many shots that she can get. Oh, you use the floor as cover. Okay, spicy. A little bit lucky, but I respect it. But yeah, you definitely need to reposition now, because this is not only no cover.
All right here.
Yeah, there's no cover, and this is so close.
I'm asking to get just swarmed.
So where would you rotate to, right? Because this is not always an easy situation. So where would you go? 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
back to
1.
top mid.
Back to top mid. Perfect. Get to here, quickly get to cover. Works for me. And we don't even need to overanalyze that, right? It's just a bad angle. That's all. Makes coaching really easy. Guessing with dynamite. Same thing here. This is just clown stuff. Get out of here. Get out of here. I mean, you're still on an angle. That's the funny thing, is you're breaking 2 out of the 3 rules blatantly. Horrific cover, no range, at least in comparison to where the enemy team is coming from. But you're still winning this fight, because if one out of the 3 is still better than some of the people you're going to be playing versus.
Right.
Like an off angle is still a distraction. It's still threatening. It's still getting kills, right? You still killed the Symmetra from an off angle, right? So, in many ways, off angle might even be the most important one of the 3. But that being said, the more boxes you check, the more you're going to win. Nice. I mean, you had cover. You had an off angle. The range there was also much more acceptable. Positioning in Overwatch is dynamic. There are hard rules, but where those hard rules apply, there's like a bunch of positions where you could find off angle and cover and range, right? So you get to choose what makes the most sense, like right now. So like right now, give me 3 positions that you can hold that check 3 boxes.
The stairs on the right here.
Stairs here. Okay. Little bit of an off angle, maybe not as much of an off angle. Depends on where your team goes, but yeah. Okay. Give me 2 more.
Left side beside the platform.
Left side behind the platform. Great. Give me another one.
Yeah. This one's kind of hard.
Yeah. You are aiming to be the best Ashe player in the world, so good luck.
This is true. I mean, I'm already pretty close. I'm probably number 2.
That's true. I would say number 3, to be honest with you, but it's my job to be rude. So.
I take it. I want to say like the right side room, like past the stair. Yeah, like over here. But
It's good to me. Looks good to me. I mean, it's high risk, high reward for certain. It's a little tiny bit closer, but there's still enough range here for it to work. So the question is when would you choose each position? Under what circumstances? What compositions? What would the enemy team do? What one initially strikes you as best? What are the weaknesses? Like, feed me in. Pretend you're teaching me here. When would I go far right? When would I go middle? When would I go left?
I think far right only works if they aren't playing dive, because I feel like I'm too far away from the supports there unless I have one right with me.
Not only that, but you're too close. Think about dive characters.
Also
what do they want to do?
Close. They want to get close.
Yeah. They want to get close, right? Perfect. Okay.
So I would say the stairs here are probably the best. That's why I sit most of the time, because you have good distance, you have good cover.
But you have a good angle all the time.
Not the best angle all the time. The left side would be the best for angle, but you're kind of close again. You have good cover, but you're
What about an adjustment with the left side? What if we put you maybe here instead? Or what if you rolled out through this door here and stayed here?
That would be pretty good. I've never tried that. That would be pretty good.
That's my point, though. You see what I'm saying? You've never tried that. That's no excuse. You need to try these things. I'm encouraging you to enter ranked games, experimenting, because long term, this is going to be what's going to separate you from other players. And remember, as long as you're checking those boxes, as long as you have, here's what I want you to do: is I want you to have the non-negotiable truths of Overwatch: cover, range, and so on. And then I want you to be creative from that position. If you say, it's like art. Like if you set the rules about what you're looking to draw or the art supplies that you're using, then you're free to do whatever you want. Just go wild with it, right? Look for the exceptions to the rule, right? So right now you're going to be, basic Andy here, and you're going to roll out top, and that's fine. It ends up being okay because they end up going on main here. But what if they had all gone top? You would have been forced out, and then you probably would have sat here and shot at the tank.
Probably, yeah.
Right? What would you have done then instead? Maybe, okay, now I'm going to try and coach gun and rotate this way, or maybe I'm going to coach gun and rotate this way. So I want you to just be creative with this kind of stuff. And see, even here, because they've taken top or given top away, you actually need to be really careful about how you position here. You need to be kind of hugging here, or maybe even considering rotating all the way to here, because what's the problem with the exact spot that you're standing right now?
No cover.
No cover. Now, if you move just a tiny bit to the left or aggressively to the right, you're good. There you go. Good dynamite. But just
no cover.
A little too far from cover. Now, I'm going to blame some of this on your Mercy. I don't know what she's doing, frankly. Oh, wow, never mind. You just got tapped. So never mind, you suck.
No, yeah. Yeah, true.
But not nice angle, but nice angle by accident. And I hate that. Because we've already seen situations like the first round of Antarctica, by the way.
Oh, fuck.
You see it?
Pogo in, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the pogo,
I think that's just panic.
For sure.
Down.
For sure. And that's where okay, so this is where the deathmatch practice might come into play. You could definitely practice this in ranked. I encourage you to, but this might be where instead of just doing aim trainers where you're just like going to be like shooting things that aren't shooting you, go into the deathmatch for 5 or 10 minutes and force yourself not to jump.
Right.
Because you're going to be under panic, right? Because they're going to kill you a lot. But force yourself for those 5-10 minutes at least to not jump. Break that habit in that situation. Because you can't really replicate that in a warm-up outside of something that might actually kill you. Don't jump. But yeah, anyway. All right.
Makes sense.
Nice. Now, they're going to walk forward here, and you guys are probably going to take the fight at this choke here. Where do you want to be?
I think far right side here. By these stairs, yeah. Oh, I got horked on though. Jesus.
Yeah. So what's the mistake? You coach yourself.
I feel like I should have backed up sooner.
And then instead of scoping here, you needed to scope closer to the corner.
Right.
That's it. But yeah, 100%. You notice how many times during this review have I either asked you a question or taught you a concept that you did not know or understand or didn't have the answer to?
Not a lot. I guess I have a pretty good understanding of it.
I think so too.
It's just actively using it in game is the. Oh look,
Right.
I'm using the far right side. I just noticed.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, this fight is lost because you died first, right? But this all looks fine to me. But yeah, I think you have at least you're a smart player, But what does a smart player mean? You ever heard that? Like, what is my dad used to do this all the time? Somebody would say like he was a teacher, and he would always be like, "Oh yeah, this kid's smart." And he's like, "What does smart mean?" And so I'm gonna ask you, what does smart mean?
I guess having a grasp of what you're wanting to do or want to do.
Sure. But you see how that's
task you're doing.
not helping you become masters though, because you already have a grasp, at least once we're sitting here, right? So,
Right.
are you a smart player? What does smart mean? You have the grasp.
Smart.
So are smart players good at the game, bad at the game?
They're good at the game. I guess they're good at applying the knowledge that they already have.
Okay. So now, is that a smart player or is that a skilled player?
Oh man, dude.
Let me give you the answer. Let me give you the answer. The answer is that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. You could say a smart player is somebody that actually executes the game. I like to think of myself as a smart player, but I act really stupid sometimes because I'm not very good at applying what I know because I don't play the game very much, right? So am I really a smart player or am I just a smart person or a smart coach? I hope I'm a smart coach because I can apply a lot of what I know, but I don't think I'm that smart of a player. And I don't think you're that smart of a player either, not in relation to the rest of the player base. You're smart compared to Plats. Maybe you're smart compared to Diamonds, but you're not that smart because you know enough to be a grandmaster player, but you don't do it.
Right.
Now, the question is do you just need more reps? Or do you need more purposeful reps? Or did you just kind of need to think things through? Because there's also the chance that you knew these things, but you never thought them through in this way.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I ask you, what are the three things that you look for in a good position with Ashe? You had that knowledge in your brain, but it would have taken you a long time to kind of think and figure out exactly.
Thought it through fully.
So it's part of this is, yes, it's also applying what you know, but part of it is also what finding out what you know, right? Like, digging out the diamonds deep within that skull of yours and finding out, like, what do I actually know about this game? What can I actually apply? I think from like the knowledge, the raw knowledge that you have is decent. So now we need to talk about continuingly to push yourself. Like, stop right now. Route 66 second point. Route 66 second point, right? You're holding second point, high ground defense. What angles should you play as Ashe? You see what I'm saying?
But yeah.
That's where you have the knowledge to formulate answers, but the answers are not easily accessible right now.
Right.
So I want, number one, you to practice thinking about those decisions once you're in those circumstances. And then number two, force yourself to do it. Do it.
Okay.
Because you have the bricks and mortar. You just need to build the buildings.
Right.
Like for this, for example, what do you think?
I think pretty good.
I think so too. Checks the boxes, right? A little bit of high. Remember, high ground is a bit of an off angle, right? It denies cover by being vertical, right? A little bit of an angle, great range, good cover. You need to be a little careful because your tank isn't quite there yet, but in terms of like the position, looks great, right? Right? It's not an accident. Right? It's not an accident, right? Now, obviously, you did hit the shots. But you allowed yourself, you amplified your mechanical skill by putting it in a smart position. And I also I could smell where you're about to go. Are you about to go right? Please tell me you're about to go right. You should go right. Now, why would I want you to go right? Let's build this backwards. I'm going to cheat for you and tell you should go right here. But wait a sec, this is too close.
But it checks the other boxes.
So it checks 2 out of the 3. Do you have an angle here?
No.
So this is checking 2 out of the 3. This is checking 2 out of the 3. Could you rotate to here and check 3 out of the 3? You could, right? Would it take too long? Maybe. But there's one other thing that that might influence the angle that you take. Look at your ultimate. See it?
Right, so I could take the long way, and then I could have that burst damage from Bob. That would make up for the time.
You could. Or you could take the short angle and cover the range weakness by just smashing Bob in.
Throwing Bob, right.
Right. So either you look at this and you go, it's okay for me to be late because I'm going to have a massive spike in value. Or I'm going to cheat on the range because I have amazing ultimate. That's actually good up close, right?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
See, you see, you want to get closer. You see what you're doing here, right? You're thinking, I want to bob. But the problem is how many of the boxes are you checking now?
Right, like almost 0.
Almost 0. Maybe a tiny bit of cover, but no range, just no angle. It's almost 0.
Right, I'm just trying to brute force the Bob. And
You're trying to brute force the Bob. And it would and look at where you end up.
I end up in the right spot.
Right where you should have been in the first place.
Now they all backed off, so it doesn't even matter.
Right. So, I mean, the Bob does its job. The Bob actually unironically does its job. It gets the sleep dart out. It forces the supports to back up. And the problem with sleep dart is he will wake up. He will wake up, right? You don't necessarily need to wait for sleep dart there. So the Bob itself was, in terms of placement, was great. But the way that you were positioned to set up the Bob was terrible.
Right.
Where should you go?
Right side.
Right side. Even with the Bob, hug the wall here instead. See if you can rotate that way. Okay. Does all that make sense? Okay. But again, you notice how like the Bob was something that maybe you had not thought about, but was not an illogical train of thought. It just took a little bit of thinking, you know?
Yeah.
Here's another question. Does dynamite change your angle?
Yes, if you can
Also,
get good damage on somebody.
Also, for example, if I don't have dynamite, should I ever be here?
No.
If I have dynamite, is an angle like this ever acceptable?
Slightly. If you can get good damage and finish a kill.
Yeah,
maybe.
you see what I'm saying? So now dynamite's that cooldown that allows you, like Bob, that is okay to get a little bit closer. I still wouldn't choose to go here, but there might be circumstances when you're like, I don't have a good angle. I'm gonna use my dynamite, get up, brawl with somebody. Now here's another one. What is another resource that influences what angles that you can take in terms of your range?
Coach
You talked about Bob.
Gun.
That's it. What does Coach Gun allow you to do?
Get away.
Get away.
Cover.
Get away. So what angles are more attractive to you when you have Coach Gun?
More aggressive,
Yep.
closer angles.
That's it. You got it. I freaking hate Symmetrol.
I'm just useless.
This is where you got to really make a good decision here. It's like this was a good angle. It is now a good angle. Should I either sacrifice my angle? Should I try to deepen my angle? I don't know. I would probably try something.
Yeah, and I don't even try nothing.
You don't try nothing, right?
No impact. No uptime.
Now here is a little bit better because now at that point you could actually see the Ashe. But yeah, that was unfortunate. The battlefield evolved and you did not adjust, and so therefore you lose the fight. That's why you got to know your bare bones, but then have the flexibility to mix things up. What do you think?
This is okay.
Why?
I like it. I have both cooldowns up. Nice.
Not surprising.
Not nice.
Not so nice, right? I think here, what should you do instead?
Do I Coach Gun after the Mercy here?
Would you be able to kill her?
Probably not.
So what should you do instead?
Focus on the other people?
Focus on the other people. That's it. She's still out of the fight. Mercy's still out of the fight. This is a 3v5.
Right,
like,
she's not doing anything yet.
Yeah, it's okay. This is a tricky circumstance. Like let's not lie here, right? I think more than anything else, you should be proud of the initial play. The initial play was great. Well done. That's it. Okay, let's take some notes. We have more time. Actually, you know what? We have. Let's go for 5 more minutes if you'd like to. Do you have another replay code that we could look at? 'Cause we have more than enough time to take notes. Let's do it. Even if it's just like one fight or something.
Okay. So you think like a week and a half, and then I'll be like ready or what?
Let's be honest. It's gonna be like 9 or 10 days. At least.
Okay.
Maybe 2 weeks, but it really depends on how committed to the grind you are.
True.
You know, if you're sleeping, I think that's going to be a major red flag about your dedication to the grind. So.
True. I feel like aim wise, I could compete at like what GM level. I don't know about. Sure. I want to say champ, but maybe I'm coping. But
I think you're coping. You have to keep in mind as well that the people that you're playing versus are significantly worse movement wise as well.
That's true.
So they're going to make your aim feel a lot better than it actually is. I used to farm clips in Zenyatta when I was plat back in 2018, and I watched the quality of my highlights diminish as I got better at the game because it was so much harder to like secure multi kills because people were just better with positioning, better with movement. Okay, let's get this. But yeah, I think your aim was fine.
I want to get in a J3 like Elo Hell Series game just to see how bad I get diffed.
Sure. Or maybe you could just get good so fast that you're just actually playing versus J3 and rank.
Right? And then I diff him, and then
That's fine. I destroyed him in a card game at the Blizzard Connect thing twice in a row. It was really fun. That's okay. But he won the last round, so he got the last laugh.
Okay. So that was stupid. Let's go next fight. I'm gonna try and pick what I could do.
Isn't this fun? It's kind of fun, right? Just one fight. Just like, all right, I'm gonna coach myself. I'm gonna find out what I did wrong.
Absolutely outplayed. Put me in.
Oh my gosh. That is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Oh my! In a coaching session, the detonation of the dynamite timing was literally picture perfect. Oh my gosh, that is actually horrendous. Okay, so if you're coaching yourself, why is this so scary?
I'm so far away from the team against a character.
Well, no, hang on. Let's build with the bricks and mortar. What were the bricks and mortar?
Over distance is really bad.
Range is wrong.
Literally in her face.
Right. So you got to be so much sneakier, or even consider rotating to a different angle, or at least opening with dynamite immediately to make sure that you get it. Right. Like you got to understand that this is a terrible distance man, and even honestly, the cover here, like this is there any reason for you to be as far from this thing as you are? Right. Like let's not lie. No, like you shouldn't really win this duel most of the time, even if you are Grandmaster, because she's going to be Grandmaster and so on. Right. But that being said, there's lots of little details here out of the bricks and mortar that we could have said, this could have been better.
Right.
Once more though, just for. It's delightful. Yeah, just chill.
Okay, the aim is awful.
It's all right. You made up for it with the tracer kill.
Okay, so I like this. Early damage. Yeah. Don't peek out too far. All right, the ego's out.
It's okay. As long as you got the cover there, yeah. But you're right. Like you see how like this positioning is not too close because where are the enemies, right? But then as the enemies rotate forward, you need to re-rotate and take your range. And that's honestly where Ashe is really bad. Like she has, typing here, Ashe has like, she's really slow in those rotations because you don't have like the best mobility in the world. So like you have to be so quick and attentive to like rotating with your coach gun or with or without your coach gun, right? So.
All right, and not much you can do there.
Right. What was the issue though? Like if we were to, because remember, did you have range?
Yes.
Yes, but
Not good angle.
not a great angle, but
No
also
cover.
But also no
cover.
cover. Well, here's the difficult
I mean-
part. Okay, let me pull what they're doing. They're taking angles on you. You see this?
Okay. Mm-mm.
Even the Sombra, she's taking an angle on you. So you are thinking, I'm going to play range and cover versus this choke here. Looks great. This is perfect. Literally perfect, right? But, you did not have cover or range on this off angle. And so that's one of the challenges with Ashe is to be like, all right, this tracer's flanking me. Where's an angle where I can have range and cover from that position? What do you see?
It would mess up my distance on the rest of the team, but I could sit in front of that little tube thing.
Like here?
Maybe.
Like here?
Yeah, or like in front
Could-
to the right as well.
Sure. You could even deepen, play the angle here. See how this creates distance between yourself and the flank over there, right? Here's another spicy one. You ready for this one?
I've never even played up there one time. I'm
should
not going to
consider.
lie. I watched a YouTube video like 3 days ago and I said, that's a spot?
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, though? Like, this all demands creativity.
Right.
And this is where things like, quote unquote, awareness and knowing where flankers are and so on can be really useful. But yeah, the big thing here is that you have the bricks and mortar, and now you're going to have to learn how to apply it. So let's take some notes. Ashe, Coach Gun, Dynamite and Squishies, keep an eye on jumping habit, keep an eye on cover usage. Now let's get to the positioning. And this is the real, again, bricks and mortar of Ashe. What are the three pillars?
Distance, angle, and
Distance, angle, cover. Remember, distance is negotiable depending on bot, Coach Gun, Dynamite. Experiment and stay focused. Be a smart player by thinking and applying in game. Any questions? Is that a moment of silence or did your mic cut out? I cannot hear you if you can hear me. So maybe your headset went boom. No questions. Okay. All right, mate. PC crashed. Jeez. All right, y'all. We will end there. Loves and kisses. Hope you enjoyed that session. That was a lot of fun. Chat with y'all later.